my aunt, and they used to work together. But yeah, my dad used to tell me this story about Paul Senior, like going down the road, and he had this Dodge truck, and he always used to brag about the alignment.
We ready?
And he was talking to my dad, and he was like, hey, see how good this drives, and he just popped the steering wheel off and handed it to him.
He was just telling us that his cousin is Paul White, the Big Show. Now, the Big Show's the big guy, right?
7'4", 550 pounds.
Wow, he's your cousin? He's your first cousin?
First cousin.
No shit.
I'm in a movie with him.
No shit. That is cool. Can we get him on the show?
I hadn't talked to him in a while, man.
Dude, I think the Big Show is probably the coolest of all the wrestlers.
Dude, he's definitely the funniest person I know, probably.
No shit.
He's the most and all those guys are fucking awesome too.
Oh yeah.
I've gotten to meet a lot of them because he'll come through town, he'll bring his bus, and they'll all come on the bus after the show or whatever. And
oh, that's far out.
I got to meet Mankind and Jack Swagger and MVP and was it Rikishi, the big like Samoan dude or whatever is that his name? I got to meet him. Yeah, man. I was never really into wrestling, but that was always fun to go to the matches. It's kind of like a culture shock, you know.
Right.
I love it though.
That's back when it was good, and before you could tell everything was like staged and fake, and when it actually looked real.
Yeah.
Oh man, those guys are some damn. After hanging out with Paul and talking to him and talking to those other guys, man, those are some fucking athletes if I've ever seen them. They do and what they put their damn bodies through. If there's blood, usually it's real blood.
Dude, one of the maneuvers that they do during a match, if you're not in shape, like me, if I was to do it, I would be damaged for the rest of my life somehow. Fucking, dude, I can't fucking walk right anymore.
Most of these guys probably are, you know.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Money's
dude.
good. Always a good crowd.
I bet. That's crazy. Yeah, those people go crazy for the fucking wrestling, man. So, which is your favorite off this disc that you gave me? He gave me this here disc, Gun Shy, earlier, and I'm excited about checking it out. But I'm going to play one of the songs out on this next break for you guys. Which one would you want me to play?
Man, you should do sad country songs. That one is my probably my favorite on the record. Just as far as it came over with this, like I wrote it wanting it to be a very just classic kind of barroom. You know, it puts kind of an image in your head when you hear it, I think.
That's cool. I like those type country songs,
yeah,
too.
Beta Me did a real good job with getting that twangy country telly sound on it. And the steel guitar worked a lot on that, too, on it. So it's one of the more basic, less layered, kind of simpler tracks on the record, but it just has such a nice, warm feel to it. Like, it wasn't my favorite till I heard the final masters, and I was like, okay, that's what a master does. Like, it just really brought it together tonally.
If you only had 24 hours to live and you had the opportunity to do anything that you wanted to do during that 24 hours, money's not an issue, crowd's not an issue, whatever, what would you do?
Oh, shit. Is it football season?
Yeah, it can be. All of a sudden, it can be football season, whether it's not or it is or not.
Oh, man, I don't know. I'd probably have to go down to Alabama and see my boys and take the folks to a football game and just have a good old time, do some picking and grinning,
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a very non-selfish act.
Yeah, there's nothing more in the world I love more than smoking cigarettes, playing guitar, drinking, watching football, hanging out with the family. That's what I want to do.
That's it.
If I can do it. It's not that exciting of an answer, but
no,
it's a truthful.
That's a good one, and everybody has a different answer, and it's
if I was going to like skydiving or bungee jumping or something like that, my luck is I'd probably die 12 hours early. So I'll play it safe.
Right. I don't know. I've thought about it a lot, and my answer changes from time to time.
It's going to.
Michael had told me that y'all were going to Alabama with the band soon.
Yes, we're going to Alabama in October, and I cannot be more fucking excited. I haven't been back in a couple years.
So that's the home state.
Oh, I mean, I'm from South Carolina. Alabama's my second home, I guess. I lived there for 6-7 years, like that. I think I lived there for 6 in a row, then moved back to Alabama, then moved to Columbia, then moved to New York, and then moved around. But I've always just missed the shit out of Alabama. I love that state. I love, I'm a Bama fan, but I love going to Auburn. I love going to Tuscaloosa and going to all the small little towns we used to play. I mean, I played there for 5 or 6 years with my band Crosstown Sway, and it was just so much fun. We really weren't even good. It was just, we put on a show and we just had a blast, and I just got to know the state, and I love it, man.
Well, that's what it's about, is having a good old time. And sometimes you'll find that some of those little rural places, man, that's only got 3,000 people in it, they'll pack a motherfucker out.
Oh, man, we used to play this place, I'm sure you've heard of Selma, Alabama, which is where they had the race riots and all that back in the day. We used to play this, I used to play this place in Selma. It was called The Vineyard. And it was amazing because Selma still, or at least, 6-7 years ago, was still pretty much, seemed segregated. I mean, you go down there and the blacks are on one side of town, the whites are on one side of town, kind of thing.
But by their own choice.
Yeah, by their, I guess to an extent. I don't know that much about it, but that's just how it seemed. But I used to play this place in Selma, and it paid so great, and there was always a great crowd. But it was they told me it used to be a Hebrew gentleman's club. Like a Jewish gentleman's club.
What is that even like?
I don't know. I guess kosher tang, man.
Kosher tang. That is funny.
We used to do that, and then we used to play this place on the way to Selma called the Camp House. It was in Stafford, Alabama, and it's in the middle of all these little towns with all this hunting land. And what it is, you'd go there, and you'd get there at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and you'd play from like 7 to like midnight. You'd play like 3 or 4 sets, whatever, and they paid really well. But it was in this tin like camp shed, big, but like metal walls and roof and all that. So you'd go there and you'd play that, and at the end of the night, like they want you to play early so all the hunters could go home and get sleep or whatever, and we get too fucked up to drive back, obviously, because they just gave us all the booze and food and whatever that we wanted. So they had like a bunk room or whatever in there with TVs and all this shit for the band. So they just lock you in the bar.
Yeah.
Be like, help yourself to whatever. You guys can crash here, whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I love, little things like that. Play in rural areas, play in parties for folks out there, It's awesome.
The first time I got locked into a bar for the night, I was in Myrtle Beach, and the dude said, "Well, we got to lock y'all in, man." And I was like, okay, what if a fire happens?
Yeah.
And I was like, we're trapped, bro. We're fucking white snake.
Well, right. So that was the good news about the camp house, is it was all metal. So we just baked before we got burned alive.
Right. I'd be like, are you feeling funny, boy? You feeling funny? So what's your most rock and roll moment so far? What's the best thing you've done?
Oh, shit. I don't know, man.
Mine happened a long time ago, and I haven't peaked since.
So I don't know. I really like I like getting to play. I don't know. I really look at it as rock and roll mode. I like getting to play like the big rooms, the big venues with a loud ass PA. I hadn't really had too many like cool star-studded moments or anything like that yet. But getting to I don't know, there's a few things. We got to do a movie. We got to put a couple of our songs in a movie and do like a shoot on. That was with my cousin Paul. We got to do that, and we got. That
what was the name of the movie?
Knucklehead.
Knucklehead. Okay.
Yeah, it's on Netflix right now. But
I look it up straight up because
Yeah.
I got Netflix.
It's kind of like Blues Brothers meets Kingpin meets wrestling.
Are there any motorcycles in it?
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm down.
There you go.
But it's not named Knucklehead for
The motorcycle.
the motorcycle.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a very funny scene of Mark Feuerstein from Royal Pains driving a motorcycle and my 7'4" cousin riding in the sidecar.
Right on. Now I'm definitely gonna check it out.
No,
That's awesome.
That was really cool getting to shoot a movie in New Orleans.
And what scene were you in?
Is a bar scene about an hour into the movie, where they've been traveling across the country to raise money to save an orphanage and whatnot. And, yeah, I know. And there's this bar in New Orleans called the Republic, which is a really kick-ass venue. I think the week before we were there, Rilo Kiley and Death Cab for Cutie and all these bands were playing there, which both bands I love. So I was like, it's a really neat room. We get to play there. But there's a scene where they're walking into this bar, and it's called like the Jackalope or some shit in the movie. And we're the band, and when we see the giant man walk in, it's like someone hit the jukebox, and it's like, kind of stops, kind of thing. And like, so
classic.
Yeah, so Paul walks in, and there's this shot of me on stage, just kind of like, oh, like, what's this big fucker doing here?
What the fuck is this 7 foot tall dude?
So now you gotta look it up and pause it and be like, gotta do a screenshot. And
oh yeah, it's the clip's on IMDb. You can look it up.
That's awesome, man.
But yeah, getting to a movie was fun. Partying in New Orleans was stressful.
So when you're an extra in a movie, do you get to get an IMDb page and all that stuff?
Man,
like you're official, man.
See, we weren't extras. Like the extras, like we were in the scene. Like we'd set up our gear and left it up for 2 days. And I mean, it was maybe a 5-minute scene of the movie. It took us 28 hours to shoot. We were down there at like 6 a.m. till 8 at night, kind of thing. 2 days in a row.
We got to make sure we got the shot.
But I knew the star of the movie, so we got VIP. You pulled up and there was.
Do it again, kid.
Dude, there were chefs like that just had every day when you got to the set. They didn't have a menu. They just had a list of ingredients, and you just tell them what you wanted.
And you got to take your band.
Yeah, took the whole band.
No shit.
That's awesome.
Took 6 people, 6 of us in the band, a sound guy and an assistant down there. They put us up in hotels, man. Took care of us.
That's cool, man.
Got paid. Yeah, but the extras on the set, man, they were like cattle.
Right.
I mean, really, it was October. And we were in New Orleans, and it was just muggy as shit. I mean, it was like 87 degrees with like 95% humidity. Ugh. So all these extras, and it's a bar scene in this huge room, so there's just hundreds of extras just standing outside.
Sweaty as hell.
And like, we'd go to eat, and all the extras would be in line, and someone would escort us to the front of the line and push. I felt bad for them, really, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, that's the way it is, man. That's the way it is.
They're paying their dues just like we were paying ours. We just got lucky enough to know the right guy.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Somebody told me, and I know it's true. I know it's true. That this business, it's all about who you know, and really, as you progress in your career as a musician or artist, those people come into your life. They just cross your path, and then you're like, oh, fucking awesome. But you got to get out there and fucking put the work in, otherwise it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I was watching Heartworn Highways. It's a documentary. It follows like Texas songwriters and country musicians in like the mid '70s. Around Texas and Tennessee and the Southeast, and like Charlie Daniels Band, Towns Van Zandt, Guy Clark, Steve Earle. But these are all guys that were just hanging out playing at the time, and they were doing. I mean, they were, Towns was well known, Guy Clark was pretty well known. But there were guys in there like Steve Earle, Rodney Crowell that were like writers. Like I think Steve Earle was like 17 when this was going on, maybe. And you got to wonder, like if. Because I don't think any of them would have made it if one of them didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to wonder if someone was sitting there at the time when they're filming this and I'm watching, they're going like, I mean, I know Steve Earle's sitting there going, holy shit, that's Towns Van Zandt because it was Towns Van Zandt. But you got to wonder, if all these guys are going like, oh shit, we're really onto something here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I know that. Like when Crosby, Stills, and Nash were young, whenever they first got together in that hotel room and they started harmonizing together, they were like, "Wait a second,
Eureka!
This is what we're gonna do for the rest of our lives." All right, y'all, we're gonna take one more break, and then we're gonna come back for the last segment, and we're gonna talk to Kenny and George, and I'm gonna let Ashley ask her questions that she has that I have been neglecting, and we'll be right back.